How do I escape spaces in command line in Windows without using quotation marks? For example, what is the alternative to this command without quotation marks? The full reason I don't want to use quotation marks is that this command does work. But this command does not work. The problem being when I change my path name for a path with spaces in it, I need to quote the whole thing. For example, but when I try this, I get the following error message.
It almost all works for me, but have you perhaps tried line 5? Escaping the space with the caret symbol, caret. Or for example below, where the caret really makes all the difference. Looks from below like the caret symbol may be your answer. See line 3 below.
I found that putting quotes around just one part of the location works. In your case. Although this uses quotation marks, the important thing to notice is that the asterisks are outside the quotation marks, so they still function correctly.
Despite the answers giving the illusion that it works, the fact is you can't sneak in spaces into usual send arguments. This is easy to prove. Save echo%1 as test.bat. This batch file will output the first argument which send passes us. Now, try and run test.bat, setting the value of %1 to foo bar. Note that there's a space char between foo and bar. Trial and error for a few years and realize that there's no way to do it. Folks will suggest to escape using yet test.bat foo bar will not output foo bar. So, there's no way to get the output, foo bar, and the closest we can get is running test.bat foo bar, which produces foo bar, or running test.bat foo bar, which produces foo bar. Now, the reason the other answers appear to work is because CD does its own additional parsing, diverging from the behavior of usual argument parsing, the usual %1, %2, %3 and etc. in typical batch files. For example, consider the peculiar command. Why does it work? This is due to CD itself doing something equivalent of joining the 7 usual arguments into one logical one. According to SEMD argument parsing norms, we see 7 arguments. See column \documents and settings \sum folder with spaces. It's as though CD has joined all the 7 arguments into one logical one, doing something akin to array.join, which produces the path. Note that this behavior is peculiar to CD only, and some other functions. It has nothing to do with usual argument parsing. Indeed, CD has another peculiarity. Remember we stated above that we couldn't get the output, foo bar? The closest output we can get is by running, which produces foo bar, or which produces foo bar, or which produces foo bar, or which produces fuba, or which produces fubia, or which produces fooba, or all the above examples have one similarity, which is they'll produce fuba after we trim off the chars. CD's author must have realized this too. If we were to infer from CD's peculiar behavior which trims off all it receives, allowing all of these commands to work. CDC column / documents and settings. CDC column / documents and settings. CDC column, documents and settings. CDC column, documents and settings. CDC column, documents and settings.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.